actor, the archivist, the curious, the quester for truth, or for cause and effect, or whatever you want to call it. I'm very open to being quite candid about the earlier parts of my life, to therefore put certain parts that deeply resonate for me, and hopefully for the audience, into a context that will give it some ballast and some weight. So when I say the age of 4, even then things had already propelled me into what happened when I was aged 4. Shall I go on? Because the occasion, and I do say cause and effect advisedly, because life demands, I've learned, a kind of symmetry, and it is this symmetry that I find beautiful and compelling. And it will, nature abhors a vacuum, that I accept as a schoolboy physicist, but also that the universe demands a symmetry. I'm also beginning to really appreciate and relish. My particular symmetry as a 4-year-old, directly linking me to sitting here now, is that I went to cinema with my family. I went to a cinema in Salford, which is a town in the north of England where I was brought up, or not brought up as the case may be. And I watched a film called Never Take No for an Answer by Havelock Ellis. And the star of the film was I think I was a little older, maybe I was, no, perhaps I was just 4. But the star of the film, Pepito, was a 5-year-old Italian boy who was orphaned after the bombing of Italy in World War II, and his only family, companion, source of income was a donkey. He was a haulage contractor, and his donkey was a cab to get drunks home from the village. He brought firewood to the church, he brought all sorts of things across the village. His donkey was called Violetta. And during the course of the film, and this was a very primal experience for me, so forgive me if I get a little bit choked. During the course of the film, Violetta gets very ill. The donkey lies down and is mortally sick. And the little boy needs dispensation to smash a great big hole in the crypt of St. Francis of Assisi. He lives in Assisi. To have his donkey blessed in the crypt and therefore healed. No, he's not given dispensation by the priest. No, not by Monsignor. No. So he walks to Rome. And he gets dispensation from His Holiness the Pope to bash a hole in the wall of the crypt. And the closing, and it was the most valiantly beautiful film about an individual struggle, profoundly unsentimental film, and beautifully shot, black and white of course. The performance of the boy is exquisite. And the wall, the crypt is finally opened. The donkey is led in by the little boy into a shaft of extraordinary light and closing music and credits. I, by this time, was in floods of tears, and I had already strongly identified myself with the little boy in the film who would not take no for an answer. He also looked like my twin. I then left the auditorium and went into the foyer, still in this sublime zone of suspension of disbelief, association, empathy, whatever we want to call it when we have a wonderful, wonderful time in the cinema. And the theatre owner, who was from Salford, Lancashire, spotted me leaving and walking across the foyer and lifted me above the crowded audience in the foyer, shouting at the top of his voice, "It's little Pepito! It's little Pepito!" And it was being hoisted above that crowd, one of the most transcendental moments of my life. And as I was being gazed at as little Pepito, I thought, this is the life.